Hola! Today, we're going to take our last batch of notes for this school year. Yay! This is your last notes packet with the exception of the review packet that you will get before the final exam, whether you're a senior or junior. And we are going to be discussing ESCAPA, not escape, but el uso del subjuntivo después de conjunciones adverbiales, which is the use of the subjunctive after adverbial conjunctions. And so first, we're going to get into ¿qué es una conjunción? What is a conjunction? So es una palabra que se usa para conectar palabras o grupos de palabras. So it's a word that's used quite simply to connect words or groups of words. And some of the most conjunciones comunes, most common conjunctions in Español are y for and, pero for but, o for or, and para or por, which both mean for but are used for different reasons, as you hopefully studied in Spanish 3 last year. There are some conjunctions, hay seis, que requieren el uso del subjuntivo si hay cambio de sujeto en la oración. So today we're going to learn the 6 conjunctions that require us to use a subjunctive in the second clause if there's a change in subject in the sentence. The 6 that you need to know well are ones that we use the mnemonic device ESCAPA to help us remember. These are the 6 adverbial conjunctions that make up the ESCAPA mnemonic device. So we have en caso de que, in case, sin que, without, con tal que, provided that, antes que or antes de que, which means before, para que, so that, and a menos que, which means unless. Please make sure that you write down both the adverbial conjunction en español and the translation in the spaces provided then in English. In the space below, make sure that you write the examples that are provided on the next slide. You may want to pause the slide to get them down. And then I do also go through some translations and explanations as well. So you can write down the translations if that will be helpful to you so that you can remember exactly what things mean if you need to use them as a reference in the future. Okay? So let's move on to the bottom of Página 1. Hay 6 ejemplos, 6 examples, because there are 6 adverbial conjunctions that we need to use. So the first one is yo voy a ir en mi carro en caso de que sea necesario salir. I am going to go in my car in case it's necessary to leave. You have the subject of yo in the first clause, the subject of it in the second clause, and the adverbial conjunction en caso de, in caso de que, in case, separating the two. The second one, es imposible salir de la casa sin que mi mamá me haga 100 preguntas. It's impossible to leave home without my mom asking me 100 questions. Subject of the first clause is it. Subject of the second clause is my mom. And the adverbial conjunction in the middle is sin que or without. The third example, el tercer ejemplo, yo voy a ir a la fiesta con tal que Alicia no venga. I'm going to go to the party, provided that Alicia doesn't come. Subject of the first clause is yo. Subject of the second clause is Alicia. And the adverbial conjunction separating the two is con tal que. The next one, the fourth, is tengo que volver a casa antes de que mis padres sepan que salí. I have to return home before my parents know that I left. The subject of the first clause is yo. Subject of the second clause is mis padres. And the adverbial conjunction in between the two is antes de que. Fifth example, necesitamos hablar con nuestro amigo para que él nos pueda decir un secreto. We need to speak with our friend so that he can tell us a secret. Subject of the first clause is nosotros, with the verb necesitamos. Subject of the second clause is él, and you have para que separating the two clauses. The final example, for those of you who are going into Español 5 ACP next year, Spanish 5 ACP next year, has to do with a movie that you may be seeing, depending on what changes are or aren't made to the curriculum. But it does have a bit to do with a movie that you may watch next year for those of you who are going on. And so keep these characters' names in mind as you head into your senior year for those of you who are continuing with Spanish. Adela quiere casarse con Pepe a menos que él rompa con ella. Adela wants to get married to Pepe or to marry Pepe unless he breaks up with her. Now, pause the video, and take a few moments to complete preguntas 1 a 5 en la página 2. Once you're all set, have Senora check over your work, and then move on to complete the notes at the bottom of página 2. Now, there are certain situations in which you'll see these adverbial conjunctions, conjunciones adverbiales, and you will not use the subjunctive in the second clause. The easiest way, the simplest way to recognize situations in which you're not going to use the word que, not going to use the subjunctive, silly me, is that no vas a ver la palabra que en la oración. You're not going to see the word que in the sentence. And if you see an adverbial conjunction without the word que, vas a usar el infinitivo, which is the unconjugated form of the verb, the one that ends with ar, er, or ir, después de la conjunción, after the conjunction. So our examples here. Yo siempre les escribo unas cartitas para mis hijos antes de salir. I always write some little notes for my children before leaving. The only person who does the writing is yo. Second example. Hay alguna gente que está feliz sin el apoyo de familiares y amigos. There are some people who are happy without the help of or support of family members and friends. The only subject there is some people. And finally, the third example. Es necesario trabajar mucho para mantener buenas relaciones con los amigos y los familiares. It's necessary to work hard to maintain good relationships with friends and family. The only subject there is it. You now want to complete the final activity on página 3 and have me check over the work when you're done. Be aware that this final activity does require you to choose between el subjuntivo or el infinitivo in these ESCAPA clauses. And be aware that you need to make sure that you have... Sorry, my dog is probably trying to chase the cat or something. I'll have to check on him in a minute if you can hear him in the background there. Have me check your work and refer to your notes as needed. Once you're done, please go back to Canvas and practice with some of the other activities. Gracias.